Today, we're doing the ultimate guacamole here in Vince's kitchen. Okay, so the ultimate guacamole recipe was actually grabbed probably about 10 years ago from an episode that I saw on the Food Network. It was Tylor Florence. It was uh, guacamole, the ultimate guacamole recipe. Uh, I've been doing this for probably about the last 10 years, and it's always a hit at a party. So the ingredients are basically four Hass avocados, three limes, four cloves of garlic minced. We have, this is my take on it. I believe, if I remember the recipe correctly, he had three jalapenos, but this recipe is actually one serrano and two jalapenos. I got a half a red onion diced, and then I got maybe about half a bunch of the leaves of coriander or cilantro, some salt, pepper, a little bit of olive oil, and you'll see where that comes in. And then a couple of tools, a spoon, a knife, and a potato masher. So let's get down to it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pit and core these avocados. Grab that guy, twist that out, grab our trusty spoon, and just spoon out all that avocado meat. Now I'm going to do this for the rest of them. And once I've got them all pitted and skinned, we'll go ahead and continue with the rest of the recipe. So I finished peeling and pitting the avocados. We're going to go ahead and we are going to, let me grab a spoon. We're going to go ahead and spoon in our fresh garlic, four cloves of garlic. Get that in there. Go ahead and put in our cilantro, our diced red onions, and then our serrano chili and our two jalapenos. So we'll get that all in there. Get these out of the way. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start with two limes, just so that we can add more acidity if needed. So we'll go ahead and get those all nice and juiced. Oh, that's great. Get that all nice and juiced. Go ahead and get this other one going. So these are pretty large limes. Got a lot of juice to them. I seriously doubt we will need that third one. However, stranger things have happened in the kitchen. I'll go ahead and get that all squeezed in there. And I will get these out of the way. We're going to add roughly about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And that just helps lube it up. About a half, I don't know, maybe about a teaspoon, a couple of shakes of the sea salt. Like I said, I never really measure anything. I just kind of go by taste. Some fresh ground black pepper. And then we'll go ahead and get that all mashed up. So there is a technique to it that I like to use. I like to just get it all in there. Start working the avocado and then start working my way around the bowl. So as I'm working this and getting it going, I'll be right back for a quick taste test. And then we'll see if we need to add anything. I'm all done. I got it all mixed up with the potato masher. This thing is amazing. I prefer the wire ones because it just blends everything and mashes it up fairly quickly. So let's go ahead and give it a taste and see if I'm missing anything. My chip's falling apart. I hate it when that happens. Mm. The acidity, the limes, we don't need to add another one. That's perfect. I can taste the jalapenos, the red onion, and all of the cilantro coming through. Now, ideally, ooh, and then you got that serrano, that heat on the back end. Ooh, oh, that's delicious. So, ideally, before a party, you want to put this in a refrigerator for about 2 to 3 hours just to let it cool, solidify, allow all the flavors to come through. So, Tyler, in that particular episode, offered a piece of advice regarding how to prevent your guacamole from turning brown. So, Tylor Florence did mention in his episode that you could put a pit in there, or people put pits in their guacamole. You know, the acidity from the lime is supposed to prevent it, but he actually suggested the science behind it to prevent your guacamole from going brown. And basically, the reason why your avocado goes brown, and of course, if Tyler's watching, he could always chime in the comments below. The reason why your avocado turns brown is because it starts to oxidize. And because of that air hitting the avocado, that oxidation is what causes your avocado to go brown. This was a really cool episode because I learned a lot from that episode. So what I'm going to do to prevent that air from actually getting in there is I'm going to go ahead and clean up the edges as best as I possibly can. And try to round off the top to try to get a smooth surface there. And try to get the edges of the glass bowl cleaned up. Mm. And then I'm going to grab some plastic wrap and carefully marry it to the inside edges of the bowl. Making sure that I get all of the air out of it as much as I possibly can. It's a little tricky, so take your time with it. And of course, if you need to, you can always layer in another one over the top of that. Which I think I'm going to do because there's a little bit that's not catching that edge. Get that going. Try to get the air out of it as much as possible, and then layer it in there. So after 2 to 3 hours, your guacamole will have set. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for coming to my party. Love you, mean it.